please put your hands together for the very wonderful Hattie Spedding.
3 out of 10 Brits have never participated in any team sports. That's 21 million people in our country. I don't think this is necessarily anyone's fault. I just think we are uneducated about the mental and emotional benefits team sports bring, especially to teenagers like me. I would like to inspire my own generation to give it a go and get stuck in with my own stories here today. Firstly, I believe team sports are the best way for teenagers to meet people like them with similar interests, even on a recreational level. This shared experience could form friendships which go far beyond the pitch and the training ground, so let me give you an example. To start off, I appreciate tennis can not always be viewed as a team sport because of the very individualistic elements of the game. For doubles, however, the connection between players is crucial for moving, positioning, and playing as a unit. A couple of years ago, I was playing tennis in Newcastle against Northumberland. It was the last match of the day, doubles against their second pair. I think anyone who's played tennis for Cumbria will admit that our teams have had their fair share of tough matches at county cups, but it's character building nevertheless. We'd been away with the team all weekend, and having not won a match, we were desperate for that victory. So, with little experience playing together, my partner and I were undoubtedly apprehensive walking on the court, but unbelievably, we got it to our match point and we were all over them. Both their players were completely off the court, and all my partner had to do was just tap the ball somewhere inside the lines, and we had won. I think in the heat of the moment, the adrenaline spike must have gotten to her, and she sent this ball not only out the court, but over the fence, over the hedge, over the next row of courts, and into the churchyard. At that moment, we were so gutted, we just had to see the funny side, and our team, coaches and parents filled the stands with laughter, much to the disapproval of the high-performing other counties. I would love to stand here and tell you that we pulled it back to win, but unfortunately, we did end up losing that match on a final set tiebreaker. My partner and I are close friends now, and that's really the main takeaway from this story. When the other pair walked off the court, they looked more withdrawn from each other having won, whereas we formed a relationship that day we never forget. Another main reason people choose not to partake in team sports is because of the intense, stressful environment. Most people shy away from this pressure, but as athletes, we should run towards it. Here's why. Stress begins in something called the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal axis, which are a series of communications between endocrine glands on the kidney and in the brain that control your reaction to stress. When your brain detects a stressful situation, your HPA axis is triggered and releases a hormone called cortisol, shaping that fight-or-flight response. Long workouts or periods of exercise can cause a short-term spike in cortisol levels, like my friend on the tennis court, which is beneficial for mobilizing energy and regulating hormones. Over time, regular athletes show a lower level of resting cortisol, which is a sign of better stress capacity and regulation. To give you an idea, a couple of years ago, my school hockey team had the chance to compete at the Northwest Finals in Manchester for the National Schools Tournament. Once we arrived, we warmed up and our heads were in the game. The pressure was building through every group match, and by the end of the day, we'd made it to the final. For those of you who've never played, hockey is entirely a team sport, with 11 players on each side and plenty of team spirit laced between them. Communication and determination are crucial in such a physical, fast-paced sport, but makes it even more exciting nonetheless. It was silence in the changing room. We knew this was the last chance we had to play together as a squad and make all our hard work worth it. We took a comfortable lead at half-time, but our opponents came back with 2 quick goals after the break. The nervous seconds dragged their feet in the last moments, but when the final whistle blew, it all became worth it. We came away victorious and ended up progressing to the national finals. Now, this story really highlights how team sport is a fantastic way to learn to adapt to stressful situations for later life. We're all going to have exams, job interviews, and pressures with work, and we must learn to cope with those feelings, even in a very inconsequential environment. Evidently, my generation has grown up in a very different world to that of most adults in this room. Pressures from school and social media have increased cases of anxiety and depression by over 42% in the last 20 years. This is a staggering number that we as a population should feel responsible for, and I genuinely believe that team sports are the answer, having been proven to improve mental health. Let me give you an idea. Recently, a scientist called Luke Pasquarella with his colleagues carried out an experiment to test this theory. They found a group of adolescents who participated in team sports regularly and a group of those who didn't. They were all given the same questionnaire to fill out, and those children who do partake in team sports all showed lower levels of anxiety and on average, better levels of mental health. This is because sport increases the release of endorphins, which improve mood and reduce feelings of anxiety. It also boosts serotonin and dopamine, chemicals linked to happiness, motivation, and emotional control, amplifying the reduction of anxiety and depression. Along with these chemical effects, sport, even on a non-competitive level, can just increase an individual's sense of achievement, which intensifies this improvement in mental health. How many people in here have done exercise and felt worse afterwards than before they started? No one. This should illustrate to everyone, especially my generation, why team sports are so pivotal in sustaining good mental health. Overall, I'm clearly an exponent for team sport. Personally, I find playing sport with my friends so cathartic and crucial to just being happy that it's something I could never live without for the rest of my life. Now, I urge you to be an advocate for team sports too. It's never too late to get stuck in. And if you have been fortunate enough to participate already, imagine how different your life would have been if you'd never given it a go. Thank you.